Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chris, Warrior Soul Fitness, of course. I got some questions from some people, and I had a gentleman that asked me about carbohydrates, and he asked me about my methodology. Right now, obviously, I don't know if you've been following me lately, but I haven't been eating many carbs. My carbs right now have been probably beneath 50 grams. I'm doing a really high-fat, moderate protein, low-carb diet. Um, So most of the carbs I'm eating are from vegetables. My fats are coming from MCT oil, butter, grass-fed beef liver, and eggs. And my protein is coming from eggs and grass-fed beef and grass-fed beef liver, of course. So I'm not eating many carbs, but when I do eat carbs, I tend to focus those carbs around my workouts. So I eat them probably about 45 minutes before the workout. I'll have some fast moving carbs like cream of rice mixed with a little bit of fat to slow down the insulin response. And then after the workout, not directly after the workout, but whenever I'm hungry after the workout, I'll have a few, probably about 45 grams of carbohydrates. And again, even when I'm eating carbs, I'm not eating too many carbs. I tend to stay within moderate levels of carbohydrate intake. But this methodology has worked fantastically for me in the past for building muscle. And in fact, even now, even though I'm not eating carbs, I am building muscle and getting PRs weekly in the gym. But this gentleman asked me, and I want to stick to the point, he said, I have to work all day and I need carbohydrate intake for energy for work. And I have to approach this question from two levels. First things first. One, if you're sitting at a desk all day and your job is to think or to answer phone calls or to deal with people, and it's not a labor job, then carbohydrates aren't really going to help you with your work. They're not going to help you think better. The reason is because when you eat them, your blood sugar is going to go up, and then insulin is going to get released, and then it is going to carry that blood sugar out to its destination, starving your brain of blood sugar, right? So that very insulin response that it causes is actually going to cause a really bad energy crash where you're going to feel like you want to go to sleep, or you're going to get brain fog, or you're not going to be really thinking right. So actually, for those of you sitting at a desk, a much better sustainable energy source throughout the day is going to be fats, particularly fats from sources like MCT oil. That's a faster moving fat, if you will, because it bypasses the liver and goes directly to the bloodstream and helps to fuel the brain and allows for the release of ketones from the liver to give you lasting energy, sustainable energy, if you will. Ooh, I'm using all these big words. Anyways, now, if you have a labor job, it might be a good idea to keep some carbohydrates ready if you have a particularly heavy day, right? And so that means that if you're out, I've been a landscaper before, I've been in construction work before, I've drove an ice truck and lifted heavy ice all around New York and Connecticut for a while. And I know what that feels like. So, one thing you might want to do, you definitely want your pre-workout carbohydrate meal, but you might want to keep some simple carbs with you to give you some quick energy on the go, right? Now, you don't need a lot, maybe like 10 to 20 grams, right? You don't need to eat 50 grams. You don't need a loaf of bread, but maybe a cup of blueberries or, a small piece of fruit or something like that, just to give you some energy while you're on the go to replenish some of that glycogen. Again, the point is not to overfill carbs, because if you start overfilling carbs, then it could lead to the same brain fog you would get if you are sitting at the desk. You'll start to feel sluggish and all kinds of stuff. So that brings me to the next point. What do carbs actually do? Well, they don't really give you energy per se. They give you glycogen. Glycogen helps you with muscle strength, moving things, and gives you muscular energy. But brain energy is a different thing, right? brain energy is a much different thing from muscular strength, right? Your brain needs to survive on glycogen too, but the science and the process tells us that if we eat too many carbs during a work day, your blood sugar is going to start to come down because of an insulin spike, and you are going to have some problems thinking. So that being said, I'm not anti-carb. I'm not sitting here telling you to go to the low-carb lifestyle. I do low carb and I do very low calorie because it's what works for me. It keeps me lean, I stay strong on it, and I actually build a pretty good amount of muscle on it. You guys, I'm on 1,200 calories a day right now, and not taking in many carbs, and I think I look pretty damn good. And if you watch my lifting videos, I still lift some pretty heavy weights. But that's my genetics. That might not work for you. In addition to that, you know, some of you out there might respond better to carbs, and some of you out there might respond better to carbs if you pulled back on them for a little bit and then slowly built them back up. But these are all the things. Don't think in black and white terms. Don't think in right or wrong. Think in terms of processes and think in terms of what might work for you. Experiment and find out what does, but always be true to yourself in understanding what does work and what doesn't work. So if somebody out there is telling you carbs give you energy, well, eat some during work and then see how you feel, and don't lie to yourself. And if you feel great, then by all means keep doing it. If you don't feel great and you get some brain fog, well, stop lying to yourself and switch it up a little bit. But again, I'm not the be all end all of fitness or nutrition. I am me. I am here just to give you some alternative views and give you some things to think about. So if you've got any questions for me, you hit me up at gettingstraight@gmail.com. I'm always here, happy to answer your questions, and I'm always happy to take criticism. And the beard is back, folks. Talk to you soon. Peace.